So we've recently added some new features to the Brightcove service and platform called Consumer Media Features. And the basic idea is to allow any website, any media owner, any marketer to launch their own user-generated video services. And the Consumer Media Features allow people to submit video content, consumers that is, and then integrate that content into an existing website or other environment. And our basic vision is that there's this incredible energy and passion around consumers creating their own media and creating their own videos. And we're trying to create a model where consumers can participate directly in websites and communities of interest. They can participate in media brands and in marketer brands. And this creates a valuable mechanism for them to be able to do this very, very easily. The way the Consumer Media Features works is really simple. Basically, within any Brightcove account, a publisher or a website owner can launch what we call a consumer media campaign. And those campaigns can be configured around a theme, a topic, an event, or a time of year, or any other framework where you want to get this consumer participation. And those campaigns can have your own brands created around them so that you can have your own branded consumer submission process. Consumers can then come to your site and submit any type of video format from really any kind of output device. And the Brightcove service will automatically transcode that content. And then either you can allow that content to go live automatically, or you can vet it and approve it, in which case it goes into a submissions queue where you can look at that content and decide whether it's something that you want on your site. And once you approve it, it goes live within players and channels within your own Brightcove players and accounts. One of the best things about this is that this is a free feature, and the way it works is really it's just part of the Brightcove platform, and there are a couple of ways you can use the Brightcove platform. One is that you can pay for the use of the Brightcove platform with either very low monthly service costs or premium accounts for larger media owners and marketers. Or you can join the Brightcove network, in which case you have free and unlimited use of the Brightcove platform to launch your internet TV programming businesses. And then you have the opportunity to generate revenue from advertising sales or the sales of content. And so it's a really great offer, and it really reflects our idea that this consumer-generated video really is part of the equation of running any kind of internet TV channel, that you might have your own originally created content that you've put into our system to distribute. You may syndicate content from other parties that you integrate into your sites and channels. And you may also then accept user submissions. So it's really a vehicle to create better consumer participation and to have that as part of a mix of content that you might distribute in your internet TV channels. We often get asked whether advertising will be included in this content, especially if you use the free Brightcove network offer. Right now, advertising will not be automatically included within it. If you're a premium publisher or a Brightcove platform user that is selling advertising into your account, you can choose whether you want to allow the titles that come in from consumers to have advertising integrated with them based on the rules and policies that you're using to sell advertising. In the Brightcove network, initially we're not having advertising run in this content, but we're going to be introducing something called the performance tier of our advertising network, which brings non-intrusive advertising and performance-based advertising like cost per click text ads and banner ads and other things, which we think may be more appropriate to consumer-generated media. So over the coming months, you may start to see the opportunity to actually have some advertising associated with this content and to generate revenue from that. There are a lot of great examples of this in action. Just a week or so ago, we turned on the consumer media capabilities for thousands of publishers in our system, and we're seeing lots of different publishers launching these user-generated video campaigns and services with Brightcove. A few examples may be worth talking about. One that was just launched this week is from Haagen-Dazs, the ice cream manufacturer, who's a large consumer brand, and they've launched a campaign at scoop.haagendazs.com, which is about consumers inventing and creating the next great ice cream flavor. And what you can find there are consumers that are passionate about ice cream and passionate about their creative skills with ice cream who are submitting videos that both illustrate and narrate new flavors of ice creams that they would create and invent. And it really marries that consumer passion with a great national brand. Another great example is a local news example. I think there are a lot of incredible local examples that can happen, and in this case it's with Boston.com, which is really the dominant local news portal and local media portal in the Boston area. It's owned and operated by the Boston Globe. And in this case, they're tapping consumers that are out at high school football games, tons of them out at high school football games, and asking them to capture great moments from those games and submit those. And when you go into this part of their site, what you'll find is they have their own coverage of these football games, which captures a few moments, but the consumers tend to get the more interesting stuff. And so you can see submissions from consumers with great plays or fights or whatever it is that's really interesting. And it's a way to marry local passion around local sports with a local media brand that these consumers can then participate in. Another local example is the New York Times regional newspapers. The New York Times runs newspapers all over the region and country, and in this case in upstate New York. They have a set of regional newspapers who have launched a campaign to get consumers to perform holiday and Christmas carols. And so what you can find there are consumers that are performing Christmas carols, and it's quite amusing. And they're submitting those, and then they get exhibited within the New York Times newspaper sites. And it's a great way, again, to get these local community participants to participate and exhibit themselves within a local media context. Then a final example is a niche broadband channel called Wheels TV. The Wheels TV channel is part of the Bright Cove network, and it's all about automotive enthusiasts. And they have already thousands of videos around topics of cars and auto and lifestyle content. But there's also a lot of passion amongst consumers around cars. And so Wheels TV has launched a consumer video submission capability with us, where consumers can submit incredible moments and incredible automotive moments or other really wacky stuff. And you'll find everything from car crashes to monster trucks driving up cliffs and all kinds of things. And it's a great example where a emerging media programmer, a niche broadband channel, is sort of taking both original content they've created and content they've licensed and marrying this consumer passion for this deep interest, automotive, and allowing consumers to submit their own content. So these are, I think, great examples and illustrate that this is valuable to media owners, it's valuable to website owners, it's valuable to marketers and emerging broadband channels. And it really shows that, I think, in this age, it's not about one large horizontal video sharing site, it's about empowering every website to capture this consumer energy around creating video.